Welcome back to From Nine to Mom.
where we discuss balancing the 9 to 5 hustle with the beautiful chaos that we call motherhood.
And I feel like I actually just started recording and that was my heater turning off. But I'm by a space
But it's
heater.
over.
Last week I was on the beach and
Mhm.
it's depressing.
Yeah, I don't know if I told you, we ended up on the beach because I didn't want vacation to end. So we went to St. Augustine from Orlando on Friday through Saturday and stayed at the beach for 2 days.
I love that for you because I would have done the same if the plane would have let me do it. And oddly enough, our flights are just the worst time. And I know it's because I live not in a normal like big area. So I know it's my fault. But like getting in at 10:30 p.m. and then having to wake up and take a 5:30 a.m. flight to come home was like those were my only options. Like there wasn't another option. So I know that it was my fault, but the flight times were just killer. And when me and Ryan were so positive when we got in Tuesday night and we're like, we're going to add on a day. Like, we're going to keep this party going. I want to do that. But by Wednesday afternoon, we were like, yeah, joke's on us. We're not doing that. We're going
But didn't
home.
you get in Tuesday night? So within 12 hours, you're like, yeah, nah, we're good.
Well, you already know how we are. Like, we're homebodies to begin
Yeah.
with, but like we were all together. So you'd think it'd be better. But it was just, we went by ourselves and we're very lucky that we have help all the time. But like doing a beach vacation with a 2 and 4-year-old
Yeah, it's a lot.
is like they can play on their own, but it's more fun when mom and dad help build a sandcastle.
For sure.
My out of shapeness really showed.
Literally, that's so funny you say that because Jordan, myself, Joe, and Rachel were on the beach. And let me tell you this, going on vacation with your siblings or a friend and their similar aged kids is the greatest gift on earth because those kids and 90% of the time, I'm not talking about Disney, that's a whole other topic. I'm talking about the
We'll
beach.
get there.
90% of the time, they literally entertained each other and like treated Daisy like if she was their baby. So really didn't have to worry about her either. So very different beach experience if you go with another family or like have friends that are there with you. Obviously, it's not like as intimate with your own family, but it really does make the beach going experience. It's not that it's not enjoyable to play with your kids. It is.
No,
But we were talking about fitness. I got off the phone with Jordan. I called him really quickly before we hopped on here and we're going to sign up for the Y as a family because we're like, we need to get in shape. We're getting older and like we need to be able to do fun stuff with our kids. Like Disney, we walk 20,000 steps a day, then the beach, running up and down. It's a legit thing. It's exhausting.
it is. And like we were and cuz like I'm never on a beach or in sand. Walking in sand alone is a workout. And it was just, we had amazing weather too, which was
Oh my gosh,
great.
it was so
Like
beautiful.
you don't know how many negative people I had saying like why are you going in February? It's going to be cold. Well, if it was any hotter, I wouldn't have been happy. Like I was perfectly content with the temperature. And yeah, just like trucking everything out and back, and we brought a lot of our own stuff
Yep.
because we were kinda in an apartment setup and, just
Which
bringing
is great
everything
with
out. It was
fitness.
listen, it was so fun. I'm just, complaining at this point about anything, but it's just exhausting. Like, you get out there with them. It's no longer the, like, I'm gonna eat my Publix sub on the beach and relax. Like,
Well,
there
this
was no
was
relax.
your first, like, family vacation, so I think we also need to, like, rewind to that because 'cause I'll never forget, like, I travel a lot, Jordan and I traveled a lot together before kids, and then I remember going to that first Naples trip, which is weird, I'm wearing my Naples shirt, I did not go to Naples,
Hey.
I got it a little bit longer, I just wanted Florida vibes, but when I went that first time, I was still breastfeeding, and I remember being like, "Oh my god, like, all I'm doing is like, this beach is so hot, I'm sitting in a tent breastfeeding, it is not the same," and then when the next year we went, he could actually move and was running around everywhere, and like you're saying, that 2 and 4 stage, and I really thought, like, I was gonna read my book, I thought I was gonna read.
My Kindle came out on the beach every day. I maybe read 2 chapters total on the beach.
Yeah.
It was just like and you also don't wanna like, listen, if I wanted to have laid, I could have, but, like, you don't wanna miss out on it, and
No,
I
you wanna
also,
eat, that's
like
why you're there together. It's just a totally different
yeah, different vibe.
it's an adjustment, especially the first time around. You're not used to how much and you'll get better at it. Like, you will get better at bringing condensed items, knowing what to bring to the beach,
Yeah.
making sure you have your beach wagon because you could plop a kid plus your beach bag in there. You get better as time goes on, but that first time I feel like is just a very like clunky word. I don't
Get
know
through the yeah,
what your
like, what how
experience.
the kids are gonna re like, we didn't know how they'd react to the plane. Are they gonna like the beach? Are they gonna,
But your
be
kids were
alright?
great, right? Like they were good.
Everybody was awesome. I will say my one, like, mom moment of the whole trip was that, we're very concerned with sunscreen because of how little we see the sun. I made sure everybody was loaded with sunscreen, and guess who forgot?
Did you burn?
When I show you how bad, like, my face looks amazing from how it did, Wednesday, I, like, put sunscreen on, like, my chest, my arms, and my legs. I meant to get we have, like, a stick for the
Yep.
face, forgot. Had no sunscreen on my entire face.
You not even have sunscreen in your skincare routine?
Do you think I had time to do my skincare routine?
Listen, you have no choice. Once you have skin cancer on your face, you will have to
I
put
know.
in your skincare routine.
You know what? I brought everything. I have the whole Medicube bundle. It came with me, and I had the intention, and I had the proper stuff for it. But, like, we were just so excited to get up that morning. Like, we all slept in because we went to bed really late.
Yeah.
We had to go get breakfast. Like, we were going. And it's also like, to be woe is me for a second. Like, I'm the only girl. Like, nobody understands in my family that I need 20 minutes to get ready. Like, they're like ready in 3 seconds. And I'm like,
It's insane. It's insane. Even like with Daisy, she's obviously too little. I'm still getting her ready. I was laughing, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but by the last day of vacation, I was sitting in the shower. Both my kids were Colton showered with me, and then Daisy was in the bathroom. I get him out, and I'm like, why is it that for women, every time I shower, it's a kidless moment for my husband? And every time he showers, it's also a kidless moment for my husband. But somehow, when it's
or
my turn, I literally looked at him and I was like, I need 10 minutes. I need 10 minutes alone just to breathe.
just
I
to
can't.
take a
I
poop.
can't.
If you need to take your shit, why does he get to close the door, bring his phone in, and hang out? And I'm like, got one kid staring at me. Like, Kelvin, this trip made him even more attached to me than he already was.
Yeah.
Literally would come and sit on the floor. I watch you, mommy.
Daisy will sit on my lap and then get the toilet paper ready and say,
Here,
"When
do
I
you need to
wipe
wipe?
you, mommy?" Like,
It's
what?
so bad, but it's like,
At this
never,
point, I'm
never
almost
when
feeling
Ryan's
sure.
got to go. Never when he has to go.
Nope. It's so funny. And like, it's not their fault. Like, it's just what the kids do. It's like
We're
their
just so
natural
lucky.
reaction. So by the end of the vacation, like, and I do get time to get ready. Like, Jordan's pretty good about that when I need it. But like this trip, they were just up my butt the whole time.
Yeah, I felt the same. Like, we weren't in, like, a area where, like, we were going to anywhere nice for gin. Like, we went, it was nice. But
Yeah.
we were bars and restaurants. It wasn't like anything, like, no
Yeah.
one had to wear a polo even, or like that. So, like, we weren't getting dressed up. And so, like, I was just like I brought cute outfits to, like, put on and do stuff, but, like, I was like, wait a second, like, I can't do that because I'm gonna be carrying a kid or doing something. Like, give me some stretchy pants. And,
I ended up
like,
I overpacked so hard. Like, I
same,
already am an
same.
overpacker. But then I ended up going to Target the first day I was there. I was like, I need athletic skirts for these parks because I'm not going to chafe my legs in these booty shorts every day. Like, hell no. I ended up
Where
buying
did you
all athletic stuff.
where did you find good ones? Because I found a really good one.
Honestly, I found all our Joy Lab from Target.
Same. The one I got from there, I want it in every color, and I want the shorts of it too, because I was like, what am I spent money on, like, other ones, and I was like, they all suck.
I end up wearing like I swear by, and I'll post them, the Levi's 501 jean shorts. Like I love them, and I did wear them to Magic Kingdom and I was totally fine. But I wore mostly like athletic skirts
You have
and the
to.
short
Yeah.
versions, like the shorts that look like a skirt a little bit, but they were all from Target because that was the only place I could go really fast to grab some. I brought one from Target that I'd had from last year, but I was like, this is all I can wear because you're bending, like you said, I brought all these cute skirts and dresses and like booby shirts, like to try and go. First of all, the fanciest place we went was Chef Mickey's. So wasn't like I needed to bring anything, and the one night we did go there, I wore a white skirt and spilled immediately all over it because why wear white with kids? And then all the other days were like parks or the pool. Like I'm so mad at
Yeah.
myself for how much I packed.
I did bring a dress. I also thought it was gonna be colder than it was.
Yeah.
So I had, like, a couple other pairs of pants and stuff, and I was like, "There's no way I'm wearing any of this." But We did good. I'm gonna share my whole Amazon haul of things that I got because we brought a ton of stuff with us. I do think I used everything I brought. The worst overpacking I did was with clothes.
Yeah, the clothes was what I did. Like, I overpacked with clothes, but I did use everything I brought, and I like am so grateful. And the packing cubes helped me stay organized so much. Like the expandable, like the ones that you can make smaller packing cubes for the kids and
Yes.
myself made it so much better. And I I think that, like, there are things you absolutely need and that you will use every day, and then there's things that you bring every time and you don't even touch, and I feel like it's important that we make a list of, like, do not bring and bring, and I know, like, for a beach trip, it's one thing. For Disney, I haven't been to Disney. I went after Colton was born. I don't know if you remember. It was my first vacation after Colton was born with Jordan, and I went
I
with my
think I
brother and his
remember
girlfriend
that.
at the time. It was we brought nothing. We came prepared with nothing. I wore the clothes on my back and a
Go.
purse. With
Yep.
the kids, it was like we were packing to, like, we
Move
were
in.
yeah, like, we were militant, like, there was so much to do, and thank God my brother and Rachel had done this before, because I don't know if you know this, but you can now bring coolers into the parks,
Yes.
and it's life-changing both financially, and I swear to God, I've never seen my kids eat more food than they did in these parks. I don't know if it's because they were burning so much energy walking or anything like that, but, like, we packed the coolers full, Uncrustables, cheese sticks, oranges, like,
Do you know how many Uncrustables were eaten last week?
dude, I think I wouldn't without Uncrustables in my life, it would be infinitely, like, worse.
How do
Infinite
they not have gluten-free Uncrustables?
I don't know, but the one day we went to the park, I was starving, so I did eat an Uncrustable, and let me tell you, biggest mistake of my life. I was so sick the next day, but they're so delicious. They need to have gluten-free ones, so, like, we're petitioning for that
They should.
because I ate a lot of oranges, but my kids, like, it saved us so much money, so much time, so much energy. That was, like, really
It's
nice.
key to it because the minute you try to buy out Disney or anywhere, outside of it, it's like you can't go we've said it before on here, like, you can't go somewhere with a family of 4 for under $100.
Never, never.
So, like, 100 for every meal, you're spending 300 just o on food for the
Um,
day, let alone anything else fun or a dessert
and I
or
think that,
adult
like,
beverage.
Disney doesn't have sit down restaurants really. They have, like, these park benches and stuff, and we were trying to figure out why. My dad was in a mode, he's like, "I need a beer." Him and Bob, like, the grandparents were like, "We need a beer in Magic Kingdom." Well, you can't get a beer in Magic Kingdom unless you sit down for a three-course meal at their one restaurant, and the reason that is because they can't turn tables. It's so hot, and they don't want people just sitting there drinking, like, and wasting their money. Like, the food there was honestly as long as, like, you brought your own food. We did, like, 1 round of ice creams, and it was under $35 for, like, 7 people, not bad. We did, like, a couple hot dogs here and there, but for the most part, we ate on our own. The only restaurant we got reservations for was in the Star Wars, like, area of Hollywood Studios, which I would highly recommend. It was so cool. It's not that kid friendly. However, like, there's a DJ the kids thought
Okay.
were cool, but, like, it was standing. It was a standing reservation. So you can imagine the under 7 crowd and the over 60 crowd were not thrilled with that reservation choice. We
Yeah.
thought it was
You're
awesome.
like, "This is great."
Yeah, it was so cool. Like, these drinks are all themed like Star
Yeah.
Wars. It was set up with, like, the robotic DJ, and they had Star Wars. It was very cool, but it was
Yeah.
definitely a choice.
So what was the highlight of Disney?
Gosh, me and Jordan never I love Disney. I was actually, like, the one and when the Disney store opened in the Grease Ridge Mall in Rochester, my picture was in the newspaper because I was that excited that I, like, ran in. My aunt worked there, but we've never been, like, a Disney family. Like, we're dreaming of going to the Disney parks with our kids. Now, there were a couple things that, like, I've always wanted to do, and I, like, see the fireworks and the magic and stuff like that. But by the end of the trip, we were definitely, like, way more of a Disney family than I ever thought we were gonna be. So, like, highlights are tough because there were so many, like, cool moments. I would say, like, I'll try and, like, keep it to 5 things. I made Colton do the Tower of Terror as his first ride in Hollywood Studios. Colton's never ridden a ride, he's too scared. So, it was absolutely epic. The kid was terrified, but, like,
It
so
was
proud of
traumatic.
himself at the end, like, "I did it," and whatever, was telling everybody, like, "I didn't really like it, but I did it." So, like, for me, with watching that for Colton was amazing. And then for Daisy, we did the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, and it was a challenge to get an appointment. Like, I really had to work it to, like, I used my sales skills as much as I possibly could to get in there. But her and Maura did that, and watching she's 3, Maura's almost 8, just watching the 2 of them, like, it was truly
The
the most
pictures were so cute.
and being in Cinderella's castle at night and, like, the way they do this whole thing, I don't wanna ruin it for anybody who's, like, never done it, but a little, like, piece of advice, book it, like, 6 months in advance if you can, so you don't have to do what I did.
Right?
B, bring your own dress, tiara, accessories, like, there is a package that is half the price if you bring your own costume. So it was well worth
Okay.
it. You get to meet the fairy godmother, you can go into the salon, they treat these girls like they are truly princesses, they can be a princess, the queen, if you have a son who's into it, you can be a knight. They did knights in there. It was the cutest like thing to ever see them do. Like they just felt so magical. So that was like a definite highlight. Chef Mickey's, these kids, I did not expect, especially Colton and Mora, to be that like amped to meet all these characters. They were jazzed. Like they were so
Yeah.
excited about these characters. It was just like so freaking cute to like watch the age range just absolutely like they chanted Donald Duck forever, and Daisy meeting Daisy Duck because she thinks she is Daisy Duck was like
Yes.
the best. And then watching my parents, even though they complained the whole time before, watching my dad, I have a video of my dad holding Daisy and watching the fireworks. Like, his mouth was, like, hanging open like a little kid, like, and she was just, like, mesmerized, and I, like, got it on camera, and it was just, like, full circle, so it was really cute. And then the funniest thing I'd say, other than Tower Terror is freaking hilarious, if you go to was it Epcot that has the Fantasia show? I think so. The Fantasia show. No one else or maybe it's Hollywood Studios. It's Hollywood Studios has this Fantasia show. I don't know if you ever watched Fantasia. This show was freaking insane. Insane. I can't believe it's really, like, happening, but we sat behind this group of, like they had to be, like, 18, 19, 20 maybe. They were taking a bus back to Columbus, Ohio,
Oh
and
my god.
every time, like, a princess or somebody would come out, they'd be like, "Oh, man, Moana, Moana," and they'd be like, "Mickey, watch out." So then Daisy was like, "Mickey, run! Mickey, run!" Like, it was hilarious. So the whole thing was awesome, but I would say those are, like, the highlights, and getting to stay the extra days for the beach was great, and then we did Blizzard Beach was an add-on to, like, our tickets that we had already
Okay.
purchased, and if you can do that while you're there, especially if it's nice, like, Blizzard Beach had stuff for every age. It was awesome, but there's, like, way more stuff, like,
How were the
freaking terrible. Do not first of all, it was spring break for everyone. You,
Yeah.
me, and
Yeah.
everyone across America, okay?
I'm
So
glad
the
you didn't have to
lines
go to the
were
airport. I heard it was really bad.
insane. Like, yeah, I did not do the airport. We drove and we got discounted tickets. So that made a huge difference because otherwise, like, whatever, we did buy lightning passes and you have to buy lightning passes. If you are going to spend the money to go to Disney and you have little kids and you decide not to buy the lightning passes, you will bang your head against a wall because the lines can be like upwards of 2 hours, even for like little kid rides. Like the Winnie the Pooh ride, we didn't obviously get a lightning lane pass for that. We really wanted to go on it. You can't wait 2 hours with a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old in line.
That's what I was curious about, and I feel like that's what we're still searching for a Disney, expert here to come on and do, like, a full breakdown of how to plan the trip, which
So I
maybe
found one who's a friend of ours that we ended up texting while we were there that helped us with the lighting pass. She's like, "Oh, you should have got these." Like, but she ended up like coordinating for us and telling us everything to do, like
from
in the
afar.
moment
Yeah.
with Joe. Because if we didn't have her, I don't know what we would have done. It's one of those things where like these people, there are Disney people, and you can see that there's nothing wrong with Disney people. Disney people, we love you. We're just not Disney people. So Disney people can spot them a mile away. Like they have the plushies all over their backpacks.
They
They've
know
got
what they're doing.
themed ears for every park. Like they've been there. They have their lightning passes. Some of them have like a VIP. They've been there
They know what they're
before.
doing. Right.
We
Well,
were not.
and that's, like, part of it, though, is, like, when you go and that's where, like, I would worry about my, like, just serious type A-ness of, like, I would wanna have the agenda of,
Be like,
like,
good luck.
"Here's where we're going, then this, then that," and I feel like you kinda can't do that
You can't,
either.
but you can have loose plans. So, like the day that we went to Hollywood Studios, the boys made droids. Okay. We knew that that was at 4. We had lightning lane passes, and that's like you get an hour to use those. So we knew exactly when those were going to be.
Yeah.
And then we had the reservation. So you can like plan certain aspects of your day, but then around that, anything else you want to do, you have to be willing to like look at like, okay, we were planning on doing this, but the line is only 15 minutes here. Like, let's go there and change you have to be flexible, and you also have to understand it's a long day for everyone, and little kids, you've gotta kinda, like, otherwise, you're gonna be miserable. Nobody wants to stand in line with a kid who's screaming, crying, that doesn't wanna be there. Like, if they need a break, they almost have, like, they have little water parks kind of at every single one now.
Yeah,
Like,
to have
Epcot
somewhere to
has,
do it.
like, a water, like, theme, like, there's just something everywhere that you can go to get cooled down. Daisy, like, wanted to play for extra time in the one at Magic Kingdom. I was like, "Screw it, like, do that." You're
Yeah,
so happy right now, who cares?
let's
Like,
do it. That's what it's more about.
yes.
Yeah, it's its own beast, and I don't we can cut this if you don't want to, but to say, how much do you think a family of 4 should expect to spend at Disney?
Okay. I haven't gone through and done, like, the full.
You can't look at your bank account while you're there.
And yeah, we just got back Sunday at midnight, or Sunday morning at 12 a.m. So I haven't had a chance to, like, look at the whole thing. And we did get discounted tickets. So I don't think that that's like a fair assessment. We stayed off resort, which I think where we stayed is called the Reunion. And it was amazing. They had trolleys to, like, the parks. You could
Okay.
get to the monorails. Like, it was fine. But I looked, we went to the Contemporary for Chef Mickey. And to stay there for a night was $791. So park passes per person, kids are not free after 2. So we looked at the real prices of tickets. So if we do some quick math, we're looking at like $200 a day per park during peak times. So if you have a
Mhm.
family of 4, that's $800 just on tickets. And then even if you, like, scale low and say you're going to spend 500 a night on hotel and you stay for 5 nights, 2,500 plus you do 2, just say you do 2 parks, right? Another
Mhm.
1,600, like, you are not going to Disney under then, plus all the things you buy, like, 5 grand to 7,500, I'd say is a low ball for a family of 4 to go to Disney. Now, we did
Isn't that
not spend that
wild?
much because we had
Sure,
connections,
sure.
you know what I'm saying? So, like, our stay and tickets, we were all in, like,
You don't have to say. I
no,
can
I'm
cut
saying,
this if
like,
you
when
want.
we
I
were
just was
only for
curious.
tickets, we got tickets for $100 a day, essentially.
Okay.
So we went 2 full days for 800. The 800 would be the total, and then we did lightning lane passes, which was like 250. So, like, say 1,000. Then we added Epcot on. So we spent like $1,300 on the parks, and our hotel for the week was only 400. So we were
Yeah,
all in under 2 grand before add-ons, right? But
yeah.
we didn't do a ton of add-ons.
And you guys drove, which is
We
also
drove.
huge.
There were
Yeah.
no flights. So we did this the cheapest way. We had our coolers.
To
We
do
did it the
yeah, yeah,
cheapest way you possibly could.
yeah.
But I would say, like, your average family is probably spending 5,000, 7,500, 10 grand all in. And the other piece of advice I have is, like, if you can, like, for Christmas or birthdays and stuff, we had people give us money that we, like, held aside, or like gift cards that we held aside for the kids to spend when they were in Disney. Like, it was like a surprise. So we didn't actually, outside the 2 experiences that the kids did were gifts from my parents. So, like, the kids did their experiences, and then everything we bought there was with pretty much, like, Christmas or birthday money that they had received, and they knew exactly how much they got. Except, I'm not gonna lie, I did bribe Colton to go on Tower of Terror. I gave the kid $50 because I needed to see his face. It was worth every penny.
That's amazing.
Yeah, $50 for Tower of Terror, totally worth
It's
it.
wild to me that people are like, I'm sure it's worth it. I believe in the Disney stuff. I like it. I just
I
tend
just don't know how you do it. Like, I totally get it, and the magic, like, when you're there and you see it again, you're like, "Oh my gosh, this was so magical. I'm so glad I did it with the kids at the age
right.
that they were."
Yeah.
But I also look at people, and then I think about those people that, like, also do the photo pass, which is another, like, $600. Like, I just don't know how people go multiple times a year and afford it, and maybe that's why we need a Disney specialist or expert on, or maybe
Like,
that's what
what
people
are
get
the
done.
things we're missing? Yeah, what are we
Right.
missing? Is there different times of year to go? I know that, like, going at the different times also matters. I do regret when Ryan and I were Florida residents that we didn't go with, like, you get, like, a discount for being a
You
Florida
like, and that's
resident.
what I mean, like, if you're a Florida resident, you get discounted tickets. If you have friends who live there and you could
It's
stay with them for
right.
a few nights, like,
It
do
all
that.
makes a difference. Well, and I think the peak times is also, I'm sure, like, very
Well,
difficult,
they
but
upped the prices, like, this week because of spring break, they were able to up the prices significantly. So,
mhm,
people have told me, like, and I've thought about this too, like, flights-wise even, you could pull your kid out of school for 2 days and, like, fly down to Orlando. It's, what?
and
For
do
me, it's
it.
an hour and a half. For you, it's not that much, 3-hour flight maybe.
Sure.
2 hours. You fly in the morning, you go, like, do you know what I mean? You stay for
Stay
48
one
hours.
night and then yeah.
You
No,
can
I think there's ways to do it, and that's where it's like you gotta get with, like, a specialist or, like, a travel agent or somebody that can get you the deals at the right time and, like, has
100.
the knowledge of, like, the things that you wanna do to do it. So I do think if I ever did it, I think I would book with like, I would have somebody book it all
You
for
would
me.
have to, and I feel like a national spring break is the wrong time to go if you're trying to maximize time and save money. We just did it because of the situation, and it was amazing, but I definitely probably wouldn't suggest it if you're, like, planning a trip and you have a choice of when to go, like, nah, I would go a different time.
I know. Well, it's just like in the stage of life when you have the little kids, vacations hard enough. I don't know how you go anywhere right now for under 3 grand, to be honest. Like if you have to fly anywhere with a family of four, if your kids are two and older, where it's like to the point where you can finally freaking breathe to get out and want to do that. I definitely can see how people would have traveled with more newborn because they're
It's
so
it's honestly easier.
they don't move, they can sit on your lap, it can be easier, but it was definitely more fun all around to, like, have them be a little bit older and go, but
But,
yeah,
like,
I
we
can see how
could
you're
ride the roller honestly, like, the kids' roller coaster, she was tall enough for them. It was so fun and so
yeah,
cool, but we're very lucky, like, where we live, and that's one of the things we talked about. If we were in New York, like, that trip would have cost us 6 times as much because, like you said, we'd have to
you're
fly down. You
yeah,
you're not staying on resort, you have to rent a car, and I think that's why people end up staying on resort and spending the extra money because it's free transportation to and from the parks, and I don't know, I feel like there's little tricks too, like Magic Kingdom's open later than everywhere else. So we waited forever to get on the ferry to go, but we showed up at the crack of dawn, like to get there. Like go a little later with your kids, then stay
do
until
it.
11 and you can ride the rides until 11, let the crowds die down. And then there's ways to like work around everything.
Exactly, and that's where it's like, you know where the experts are because they know their routine of, like,
Yeah, like
going with that, but
what to do. I mean, I don't know. I was
yeah,
there for the ride and I was excited. It was great, but we are like you said, like I always feel like I love vacation. I never like want it to end. I don't like exhaustion for me is just like I feel like I'm in a constant state of it at this point. So I'd rather have vacation exhaustion than like life exhaustion. But now I'm definitely in that stage of like, we got to get back into it and we've got to like get moving, but it's hard to do. Like you said earlier, like wake up for like we were talking earlier, wake up today sucked for everyone. I had to wake up my husband up because he slept through his alarm.
you're
You know
like,
what I
"Get
mean? Like
up and
it's
go to work." Mhm. Yeah,
just
it's
it's
hard.
all me
It's hard
down.
to just, like, jump back into it and do it, but it was definitely, worth the little vacay. I'm glad we got to do it. I know that it's hard to do, and a lot of people aren't in that spot, so
Yeah, I
it's
feel
tough,
very blessed, very lucky.
but when you get to go, it's, like, really fun.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
we have
really
it literally, like, that's it's the first vacation we've been on since I got pregnant with Jack.
which is
Like,
what
I have been some places, but we have not been on a vacation, and it was worth the wait for sure, but
you deserved it.
it was fun, but the last thing I have to leave off on is because you were talking about rental cars. So we rented a car,
Yeah.
and we got a minivan, and it was a decked out minivan. I think I'm team minivan.
No way. Okay. So Joe has a minivan.
I know, like, I get it. Like, I
It's
get it now. The kids could get in and out. I didn't have to lift anybody up, and I know the older they get it, that doesn't matter, but, like, the automatic doors, like, the captain chairs with the car seats was so easy, like, they had more cup holder space and, like, room for snacks, like, in the back 'cause, I mean, we only have 2 kids, it's not like I even need the 3rd row. We just kept it down
right.
and, like, for
Exactly.
storage.
So are
So,
you guys gonna get a minivan? Is that what's
I
next
mean,
for
no.
you?
I keep messing with Ryan because he's like, "We will never be a minivan family," and I don't put me on the record, anybody, but I don't think they're that good in the snow. So, like, it
Okay.
really wouldn't make that much sense. Like, some of them don't have four-wheel drive, so, like, it doesn't make sense. But I was like,
Find a four-wheel drive minivan, are you gonna buy it?
I could see myself doing it. I told Ryan, I'm like, "You can do it." He's also like, "I'll never not have a truck," which I get, but, like, could we have a truck and a
Jordan
minivan?
says, but who knows?
People change.
People
So,
change. You're a
anyway,
big mouth lady now.
we'll leave off on that for today because it's time to clock back into the 9 to 5.
Happy post vacation, Katie. We're back.
Yay. Alright, bye, everyone.